Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at a very cool book, John Byrne's Critical Error. I guess it can best be described as John Byrne's heavy metal story. Super cool one-shot. Can't wait to show it to you. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Please hit that like button and let's get right into it. Speaking of subscribers, I just hit the 1,000 mark. I'm super excited. It's been a long haul. I've been doing it a couple years. I knew it would take forever to build up. Slowly, especially a niche channel like looking at old comic books, for the love of Pete. But thanks so much to all my subscribers, thanks to my viewers, thanks to new subscribers, old subscribers, to the people, shout out to the people I interact with regularly, all my fellow Byrne victims. I know I cover a lot of John Byrne, and he does, those videos do seem to perform the best. Speaking of John Byrne, we just lost Tim Sale, hot on the heels of Neil Adams and George Perez. 2022 is looking to be like a horrifying year for comic book creators, and what a horrible loss of such great talents. I feel like John Byrne is like the new Betty White of the comic book industry. We have to wrap him in bubble tape and just hold on to him. So anyway, this story first appeared in The Art of John Byrne, a art book from 1980, 5 years into John Byrne's career, and he was already so prolific and lucrative at the time. And this is 40 years later, my God. So, as explained, John Byrne said he didn't pick up heavy metal magazine regularly, but would often flip through it to see if there was anything worth purchasing. And in doing so, picked up an issue that had a still from the movie Alien in it, with guys in clunky spacesuits, that sort of gave him the inspiration for this story about spaceships being like trucks, and spaceship drivers being like truck drivers, and being like normal average Joes. And it sort of planted the seeds for this story, which he does call his heavy metal story, so don't jump all over me, straight from the man's lips. But he says it's unlike a heavy metal story in that it has an ending. I didn't know if that's a thing for heavy metal, if they just have open-ended stories. My familiarity with heavy metal is mostly the Killer animated movie. I probably picked up a couple issues here and there, but I'm an American comic boy. I guess I am like most, comic book fans my age. I was introduced to superhero comics of DC and Marvel, mostly in the 80s, and didn't, appreciate the finer, heavy metal European stuff until I was a little older. So also, this was supposed to be a 12-issue story. He didn't create it for the sketchbook, or for the Art of John Byrne, but he said in lieu of putting in a sketchbook, he wanted to give fans a new story. So that's where it saw print. And it started out as a 12-page story, but he decided to make it silent and realized he needed to expand it a little to show pacing and the passage of time. And, obviously John Byrne is one of the greatest comic book storytellers of all time, so it's no surprise that he can pull off a story wordlessly written, as I like to say. His first issue of his Batman miniseries, illustrated by Jim Aparo, when the pencils came in, he was like, I'm not going to ruin this with words. And I kind of love that about John Byrne, because, he does have a certain amount of ego. I think deserved in some way. He does have the talent to back it up. But I think that he also is such a comic book fan and such a fan of comic book art that he definitely, honors and respects the art first and foremost. A lot of times if he's writing a book and someone else is penciling it, he will give them credit first. And I think in a way that's, it's I feel like the writer is always the ego of any project. I could go, that's subject for another video completely. But, comic books, undeniably, where would it be without the art? I see sometimes people debating over writing over art in comics. And comics is first and foremost a visual comic book, storytelling medium. It's always been about the art for me. I'm an artist. It inspired me to draw. I love comic book art. There's such a great variety and beauty in comic book art. One thing he did address, because a lot of people, upon seeing this, and rightly so, thought that this was basically John Byrne doppelganger as the lead protagonist, and which he said compelled him to add a colored page to the book where you could clearly see that the guy had white hair. So his name is Snow, and it's not Byrne, although Byrne, Snow, analog, I don't know, whatever. I mean, is this John Byrne's Mary Sue fan fiction? I don't know, you decide. I love the concept of Mary Sue. I feel compelled. I hate this about America, like covering her dirty pillows. Like, what the hell? Like, I mean, they're just boobs, everybody. I mean, we all have them. We all do. Whether they're nice flex pecs, flat nothingness, or big old moves, or nicely shaped, whatever. They're just boobs, people. Get over it. Now, he also did address, like in the original story that appeared in the Art of John Byrne, for all you pervs who want to go out there and see it, he drew in the loincloth over this to keep it, like, from being, like, an adult comic book. Sadly, I mean, once again, it's just a bush, people. By the way, I should mention this was colored by Matt Webb, who colored pretty much most of his Next Men stuff during the Dark Horse days when it went to IDW. I don't know what happened with his relationship with Byrne, but he was X'd out for some reason. But he colored a vast majority of, like, the Dark Horse stuff, like any sort of offshoots. I feel like he might have done Babe and stuff, but he did a great job coloring this. I do prefer it in black and white because that's how it's burned into my brain from the Art of John Byrne book. And this is just such a great fun book. And it also, I love that, I mean, I feel like it's totally a heavy metal story. Like, it's definitely science fiction. I mean, this is so great. It's still got all the Byrne goodness. And this is, like, early in Byrne's career, so I'm loving the faces. Like, John Byrne notoriously, like, kind of evolved the faces over the course of his artistic career. It's funny, it's not supposed to be Byrne, but that looks like Byrne's face. Byrne did this interview with Wizard magazine where he's, like, showing off his gun collection and posing with them. So, whatever, Byrne. Sure, it's not you. Snow. Come on, Snow. Anyway, so just like a boy, I mean, this does show why John Byrne is such a great writer. Like, he just nails all the classic, like, elements of human behavior. And of course, this boy would want to impress this girl with his gun. And at first she is a little impressed. Look, I can shoot a rock. I can shoot from there. Oh, yay, I'm clapping. And then I shoot a bird and you lost me because, of course, stranger in a strange land, killing our native wildlife. You bastard. What the hell are you thinking? Just to get some tail. So she's devastated. She runs away. He screws up. He's trying to cheer her up by falling in the water. They go skinny dipping. It's all good. You killed my bird. Whatever. Let's do it. This is a great landscape shot. I love that. Great foliage, the fun butterflies. I mean, the storytelling is really good in here, and I love it. I mean, it just goes to show John Byrne can draw anything. Like, it definitely, looks alien, like, in a lot of ways. Like, as far as the, is it topiary? Is that the word I'm looking for? Anyone sitting there with a thesaurus, dictionary, whatever, want to help me out, throw me a bone. I don't know, like, orange is such a bad color for this costume. I mean, that's the universal, or maybe it wasn't at the time. I think black and white was probably more present. Black and white stripes was definitely more present. I don't know when the orange jumpsuit came into vogue, but I think it was definitely after this. Definitely popularized by Orange is the New Black, for sure. Anyway, so what tipped him off? Oh, typical man. So they do it. He wakes up and is she missing? Oh, I skipped a page. That's what's happening. He's looking for, hey girl, where'd you go? Skipping out after our one night stand. Follow you into this. And then here comes this creepy Iron Giant looking dude, which I wonder if this was any influence on that. I doubt it, but you never know. You never know where people draw their influence and their artistic inspiration from. But lots of good storytelling, flashbacks. She's like, I've had a taste of it, now I want it. And he's like, oh, hell no, I'm getting the hell out of here. Typical trucker. I'm sorry to you truckers watching, I don't mean to be offensive. I certainly wouldn't mean to imply that you would go to another planet, impregnate an alien, and just leave. You might do that in, Yonkers or something. But anyway, so he leaves. He's like, she's crazy. I don't know how I know that. She hasn't done anything super menacing yet. I mean, really. Like, he's just like, oh my God, she's really the robot, or what's happening? Oh, she is the robot. Oh my God, whatever. Oops, spoilers. Anyway, I mean, whatever. This is old, guys. So if I'm spoiling it for you at this point, then sorry about that. You're on your own. But it's still a good story. I can't believe I just pieced that together. No, I must have always known that. I couldn't be that stupid, could I? I mean, I could. Anybody could. But this is such a great epilogue. I've always loved this. Clearly, this is like the Star Wars cantina. And I always thought that was kind of like a Skrull lady. Or at least the way John Byrne would draw the Skrull women. I've seen that Skrull face before. Just put a triple ripple butt chin on her and you got a Skrull right there. Not John Byrne, everybody. Looks just like him. It's not him. She had a baby. A creepy Byrne drawn baby. Byrne draws horrible children. There, I said it. Love this book. This is so great. He explains everything I said about the heavy metal picture, blah, blah, whatever. Sin City collection. Man, I can't wait to do some Frank Miller Sin City. I mean, you kind of take for granted how beautiful it is until you see it again. Anyway, Critical Error. Such a great one-shot from John Byrne. Such a great moment in time. Kind of cool that this even exists. Like, created during the beginning of his popularity, working on X-Men and Avengers or something, he said. Anyway, very cool book. Critical Error, John Byrne's, heavy metal, Mary Sue fan fiction. Ha ha ha. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you're one of the 1,000+ growing, thanks so much. I love you guys. Anyway, I'll bring you more soon. Hit that like